yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so you said I should walk into the conversation. Where do I start from?
You can just start from anywhere. What you have there.
Yeah, so basically, my name is Chinedu, and I'm based in Berlin. I'm a talent acquisition partner for WeFox. Though I will be leaving WeFox by the end of the month, I'll be joining another company actually. So I've been at WeFox since 2021 November. And prior before WeFox, I've been at Concentrix, where I did most of my hiring for Facebook, for Google, for Amazon, and for some other third-party companies. So Concentrix is more of a CX company, where basically we are helping third-party companies fill in roles and positions that naturally they wouldn't want to get involved with. So this is what I was doing at Concentrix. I was doing more of customer support role, technical support, sales and marketing for Facebook and Google, Amazon. But at WeFox, it's very much different because at WeFox, I'm doing tech, I'm doing IT, I'm doing product, and I'm doing data. So that means that I have proficiency in hiring product managers, product designers, product owners, UI UX designers, and also writers. Then when it comes to data, I've done data engineer, data warehouse managers, and also data analysts. Also, when it comes to IT service desk and IT support as well. And when it comes to tech, I have done front end, back end hiring. I've done full stack. I've done DevOps. I've done SDT, which is software development and test. And I've also done QA. It's kind of also related to SDT and also technical writing and a few other kind of roles when it comes to tech. So this is basically what I have done so far so good in my career. And as I move to my next company, I am also continuing in tech, IT, and also in data. So this is basically a very quick overview about me and my bio. Yeah, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. And just for the record, I have also hired around 5 Nigerians ever since I joined WeFox, and from Lagos and Abuja. I hired product designer, senior product designer. Hired, is that a question? I will get back to that. I hired also a product manager and two tech guys, one in Spain and also one in Berlin, and one other guy also in the integrated. It's more of I would say they are into it's a technical products department actually. Yeah, so but that was in the tech boom, I would say between 2021 and 2022. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah.
All right, thank you for that. First introduction. We have a hand up, but before the hand, before Abby asks this question, Olabanji is here, and Olabanji would like to say one or two things before the conversation, before we take Abby's question. Hi, Abby.
Yeah, hi, hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you, Benji.
Okay, amazing. Good evening, Chinedu. Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us on this conversation. Okay, so I just wanted to chip in before Chinedu goes full on into the session. Um, Again, this has been a series for the last 2 weeks, right? For the community, for people who have been joining the session. This has been a series over the last 2 weeks, and I believe that if you've joined the week 1, you joined week 2. That was last Saturday. This is week 3, and we're still going to have one more session next week. And I just wanted to just chip in before Chinedu starts so that we sort of have a context, especially if we are just coming for the first session today, right? Then I advise that the way today's one is going to be holistic for you is if you've listened to 2 Saturdays back and then last Saturday, even though I think we're having some issues with getting the recording for the last Saturday, right? But however, that will sort of lay a foundation for you in today's conversation because yes, Chinedu is going to be talking about some of the mistakes that we Nigerian talents or Nigerian talents make when looking for international roles from his personal experience as an international recruiter. But at the same time, you cannot come and talk about those mistakes if you've not even initially deal with some underlying things, which first Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago we talked about that, and then last week Saturday myself and Mark talked about more things, right? If you've not gone through those underlying things, then today's session might not be fully holistic. I'm not saying obviously it's going to be important to you, but anything Chinedu is going to share today will be much more fuller for you if you have all of those previous contexts, right? Because that's why this is a series, right? And the way for you to have that previous context is, the way for you to have this whole experience very wholesome for you is that you have all of those contexts. Because you can't just come today and say you want to get an international job, but meanwhile you don't even have underlying things that has been talked about 2 weeks ago. Some of the major things that Mark was giving us Basbos last Saturday. If anybody that was in that session, if you're in the last Saturday session, drop an emoji or something. It was pretty an intense Saturday. Mark went very deep, showed us some raw truths, right? And many people are smiling, and then people feel the hits very well because it didn't mince word. It said it the way it is, right? And that's some of the challenges that many of you have, right? And if you have gone through some of those underlying factors, it's then easier to come to this session and, be able to take everything Chinedu is going to give to us in terms of mistakes so that you avoid them, right? And you don't make those same mistakes as well. And it makes it easier for you to get into international opportunities. So I just wanted to lay that foundation so that I sort of make it you will not just come here, especially for new people. Again, I advise that you go and listen to the previous sessions. It makes this a lot more wholesome and much more fulfilling for you. So yeah, without further ado, I don't want to say too much. Thank you so much, Chinedu, for joining us on this conversation. I'll hand over to you, Blessing. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you.
Yes, Chinedu, would you want to take the questions first?
Yeah, I already see hands raised up. I see Abby raise his hand up. Yes, I can take that question. Yeah.
All right.
And Jennifer's yeah. Yeah, Abby, you can unmute. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Just for the record, I've not missed a single series. That's to show you how invested I am into getting this thing right. And a couple of things, a couple of things that have been bothering me all this while. So I'm based in Portugal, right? And for some weird reason, I've not been able to go through. Sorry, I've not been able to land a single interview in the last 3.5 months, right? Apparently, the problem is actually my resume. Yes, there's no what was it? I don't need a CTA to tell me anything about that, and I'm sure Banji has also suggested a couple of things. But I decided to bring up these questions so that every other person who have not been coming on board will also learn from it. In your opinion, do you think, because I always hear European standard CV, and I also know that back home in Nigeria, we have our normal CV. For instance, if you use the European standard CV to apply for a job in Nigeria, the likelihood of you being hired might be somehow low, depending on the person checking the what's it called, the CV. So the question I'm trying to ask is, do you think if one is trying to get an international role, the person's CV should be tweaked in such a way that it suits, the European standard of your CV is actually
So let me take you down to the basics. So first thing first, I would like to understand For what kind of roles are you applying for? Are you applying for product management roles?
Internship, project management, the rest of the
Intern. Okay. And currently, where are you applying? Are you applying in Portugal, in Portuguese markets, or are you applying in the international markets?
Everywhere across Europe.
Okay. So one thing you understand is this. For internship roles and for associate product managers, which is the entry level, no company will be willing, especially now that we are a little bit out of the tech boom, no company would be willing to bring you all the way from Portugal to any other European country because, first of all, it costs money to run visas. And the kind of visa they would give to you, there is nothing like internship visa. So therefore, it's going to be a wasted effort applying everywhere. But what you can do is this. You have to focus in the markets, right? You have to focus in the market where you are. If you are in Portugal, you have to focus in the Portuguese market. Then you have to target startups. Also, I don't know how your CV looks like right now, but I also would like to see, just to be able to give you a hint on what could be wrong, and also refocus your attention to where you should apply. Because application is not just about throwing out CVs, it's about strategically positioning where your CV should go and the kind of roles your CV should land. And if your CV does not have the weight it needs to be able to land you that internship job, it shows that there is something wrong. And companies are seeing that, but you're not seeing that. But a one-on-one with me and you, I could be able to see it, and then I would identify those places where you need to twerk a little bit more or change entirely everything, and then you can see some changes. Secondly, you also have to understand that the current market is really bad. I would be honest with you. The current market is really, really bad. A lot of companies are struggling with funding. So don't take it so heavy on yourself because I also have people who are even employed from Portugal all the way to Germany, right? But that was during the tech boom, like 2 DevOps guys. So basically, the market is not all that good at the moment. For the past 6 to 9 months, the market has been very rough. So one is your CV, 2 is the market, 3 is where are you throwing your CV. These 3 things will determine if you're going to land your next interview next week, right? So this is what I would have to tell you for now. Yeah, let me not stress it so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, just one more thing. Can I quickly go and harass you on LinkedIn? Is that fine by you?
Yes, please do.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's have Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer. Is Jennifer there?
Yeah, I think maybe she's talking, but she's on. She's muted.
Yeah.
Okay, we may just continue as soon as she's back. Then, yeah.
All right.
So, does anyone have any other question, or should I go forward? Okay. Talent match project has raised their hand. Yeah, go on.
Hello.
Just in case. Yeah. Now we can hear you.
Yes, good evening.
Evening.
Thank you very, very much for coming on board to give us this presentation. It's funny that you say that the market is really, really bad nowadays. I am working on a product to see how talent from developing countries can get jobs in the developed nations. But so when you mentioned this, because I've spoken to a recruiter before, and this was mentioned as well. So I wonder if employers will be open to job seekers sponsoring their own relocation and uh, visa request, or should I say um, visa admission.
Just a moment. Let me turn off this fan because I came back to Nigeria day before yesterday, and I fly to Enugu this evening. Just let me turn off this fan. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you said something that you heard this from a recruiter before, that the market is bad. Yes. Honestly speaking, since December 2022, I had 6 offers to give. One was a Nigerian who was brought to Berlin by a company, but then also the company also did a layoff, and then he was affected. The other one was 2 guys from Spain, and the 4 was 1 guy from Russia. He ran from Russia to Turkey because he didn't want to be recruited into the war, and 2 other guys from Ukraine themselves. So what happened is this: we got to the point where our senior management said, "Hey, hold on all offers," right? And we said, "Why?" They said, "Because we have to clear up some things with investors, and we don't want to make offers at the moment so that we can save people the embarrassment of laying them off again." So what we did is I called those people and told them that in January we would likely be making them an offer, and they said okay. And after that, in January, we got to January, we didn't make them any offer. The company said, "We don't think we'll be making any offer until March." And we are also not recruiting. We've not been recruiting from January till, I would say, like heavily, like we were doing. We're just recruiting for some key important positions, but we're not recruiting heavily like we were doing for DevOps, product managers, UX, UI, and all of that. So the entire hiring process was put on hold, and those that we wanted to make an offer, on hold. And then after a month or so, we had to call them and cancel those offers, right? And then apologize to them that we're sorry, it's not our fault, it's management, blah, 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 and all of that. On the other side, we've given them a bad candidate experience, which is not good. And it's not our fault. When things go wrong, people tend to look at recruiters as evil people. We are not evil people, but, we are just like soldiers in the field with the gun, right? They say shoot, we shoot. They say take it back, we take it back, right? So we are more like the gatekeepers. We are the people who know who is coming in and who is going out, and who we should let in and who we should let go, right? So this is basically what we are, right? We are the talent acquisition people. So the whole thing has been on hold, and a lot of companies have also enrolled bankruptcy. If you followed a lot, you would see Wirecard, you would see Nuri, Bitwala, and a lot of companies in Berlin did a ton and a ton. Even Gorillas, this e-commerce companies that if you order groceries, they deliver it in your home. They were bought over by another company, but also it's even a smaller company that bought them. So you would see that this is a very serious issue because of the SVB bank issue and the whole saga that has to do with the SVB and all of that, right? So the market is really, I would not lie to you guys, is really tough. So no company right now, except for senior roles, right? Or except it's totally remote, right? The company is working in a remote formula. That is the only time you would see those offers coming in, right? You would get a remote offer. Hey, can you work from Nigeria? A lot of companies still do that. Can you work from Nigeria? Would pay you XYZ. Is that okay for you? You say yes, and then they prepare the contract. They know how they send you your money and your salary, and they know how you report and how they coordinate the things. But currently, companies that are sponsoring for visa is really, really low in the market, honestly speaking. So what this means is that we have more of remote roles than companies who are doing visa. And let me even shock you, to do visa for people from Nigeria could take anywhere between 6 months to 1 year. And I remember in the last case, this guy's case, I will be bringing him on board if Banji permits me one of these days. As a senior product designer at WeFox as well. He could tell you his experience. He had to wait. I hired this guy in 2022 March. And also he started at WeFox in 2023 January. We had to go back and forth with the German embassy in Nigeria, and it was really, really crazy, right? So it's a very shitty process there. But from other countries, it could just take, like, if I'm hiring for someone from India or from Brazil, maximum 2 months, they're already in Germany. So I don't know why it's like that, but the process is really, really shitty. To get appointment, to get the processes, everything done, it's not easy. And then don't forget, these are hiring managers. They have a need, right? And that need is lingering. And once it keeps lingering like that, they would say, hey, you know what? Why don't you call the embassy and cancel that offer? Why don't we make a local hiring, right? Why would they hire someone from within? Even though they love the talents from Nigeria, but the process is difficult for the person to even then cross over. So I don't know if this answers your question on why things are the way they are at the moment.
Yes, it does. Just to confirm that, so you say for sure the visa processing time is a major pain point.
It's a major pain point. Because I worked with Localize. I did a lot of visa processing with the Localize agency, the agency in charge of relocating our candidates from all over the world, right? And from statistics, the fastest country where I've hired from is India, second to South Africa. And then talk about other places in the world. Nigeria is the most difficult. Nigeria and Russia, right? It's the most difficult. Hiring people from Russia, it's like, it's a big problem. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this is what I have to share with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll reach out to you on LinkedIn just for you to know. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah.
Chinedu, you can just start your session now.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sorry, let me just turn on my AC. Thank you very much, guys. We've had some questions, and I believe in the course of my presentation, we would have much more questions to ask. So what are the things that I have noticed in an interview? I've had dozens of interview, if not hundreds of interview with people from Africa at large, not just Nigerians, but Nigerians I'll be talking about specifically today. First thing first, and let me not also lie, this could happen right now as we speak, because I just came into Enugu and I've not even checked if my generator is working well and all of that. But as we are talking now, it could happen that the light goes off and it's not so good if this is an interview, right? So let's say if I'm going to have this interview and I know that for sure NEPA is unreliable, and this interview means a lot to me, depending on the stage it is, right? I have to really take it serious, because if I'm having a conversation and then I go light out, then my brain would just get distorted of the things that I want to say, and then following other questions that could be technical, you would start saying the opposite of things that you should say, right? So first thing first is get your light sets, right? Get your light sets, make sure that it is in order so that you don't have to have power failure, right? Secondly is get your network sets, right? So I came in this afternoon, and first thing I did was I ran to the Glow store and got a glow sim because I saw that MTN is not working so well here. And also, I would also need to get maybe a very good Wi-Fi on Monday, maybe Spectranet or Swift or whatever works here better, right? So you have to know what networks works for you because you don't want your network lagging or having network issues. Secondary is you take care of your environment. As soon as I came back, the first thing I did is my two kids, I had to tell them, and I have to tell my wife to please take all of them away, right? Take all of them away because I don't want to hear any noise. I don't want to hear daddy or mommy or anything. Just lock them somewhere, right? So even though I can still hear some screaming from the background, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's okay. And I had to make sure that I take care of those things. These are the things that I see most of the times that cause distraction. And one thing is when you get distracted, the person interviewing you also gets distracted, right? And this is, first of all, the physical conditions that you need to take care of, right? The next thing is about when you say, tell me about yourself, right? A typical Nigerian will go from my name to my school to siblings to stores and schools and all of that. But tell me about yourself is a quick way to sell yourself in 2 minutes, maximum 3 minutes, right? So tell me about yourself. My name is Chinedu Nwokolo, and I have my first degree in my BSc in that's my first degree in insurance and risk management. And when I finished that, I did my first compulsory youth service, and after that, I did my XYZ experience in candidate experience, and then I got the knowledge to do this and that, and then I decided that I want to move into this, and that was how I did my master's in where I am doing my master's right now in international human resources management, and then after that, I got my first internship role, or I got my first role in Concentrics where I did XYZ, and then I was able to achieve XYZ results. And then from there, I decided to leave because that this job is not satisfying my professional or career requirements anymore because your career requirements changes every now and then. And then you move from there to where you're currently now and what you're currently doing, and also why you are now applying for this role, right? Because you feel that in this your current role, that everything about this your current role is going to give you the opportunity you need for you to be able to scale through for your next career in 3 minutes. Right? So tell me about yourself. You sell yourself. Then it's left for the person to ask you in your XYZ job, you said you did this and you did that. What kind of tools did you use? What kind of people did you collaborate with? Who were your stakeholders? How did you manage your stakeholders, right? And what kind of people did you work with? Did you work solo? Did you work with a team? What do you think your team thinks about you? Right? So in tell me about yourself, it could reveal a lot about you, and it could also say a lot about you when you are communicating things that are irrelevant, right? So this is the first one. Secondly is then we'll move to the motivation of why are you applying for this job? A typical Nigerian will be like, oh, I really want to travel abroad. It's my dream to travel abroad. I really need to move out there to work, blah, blah, blah. No, I even had someone say, the economic situation in Nigeria, it's so tough, blah, blah, blah. You don't say things like that, right? So you have to come like a professional. We know things are tough. Everything is tough all over the world. But then you are also like a consultant, right? So an interview is a place where two people need something. The company needs someone who can fix a problem. And you are coming as someone who can fix that problem. All you need to do is understand the JD, which is the job description. When you understand the JD, then you can then translate whatever it is from that JD to your skills. Based on that, then you can sell yourself. You know, I applied for this job because I have used this tool, that tool, and this tool. But more importantly, I saw that this tool is even being used in this company, and I've learned about this tool, but I would even like to grow in this direction. And I see that there is this and that, and I have experience in this. So I'm coming with a very strong experience in this domain for me to be able to deliver, and I've got passion for this job or for this role. Based on this, you can, convince the person you're talking to that you're not just applying for the sake of applying or for the sake of greener pasture, but you're applying for the sake of coming in to make a difference. Secondly, you can also say that you have seen your career trajectory and that you feel that you are trapped in this particular domain where you are right now. And if you stay here for too long, you won't grow. So therefore, this career opportunity you see right now would give you the opportunity to be able to grow in this domain and then enhance your career forward because you are looking forward to growth, right? And based on what you see, this is what would now motivate the hiring manager to then say, this and this and this is what you should go to next. Now, I'm still coming to questions. Now, talking about the next one, which for me, I think people should pay attention to is why are you applying for this job? Or why are you applying to this company? Everyone knows that for you to go into an interview, you don't go into, it's like you coming on a date, on a blind date with someone you never know before. At least for you to be able to go on a date with someone, you both need to know one or two things about each other so that you have something to talk about. So if you are coming to have an interview, the first thing that you should look at is, where is this company right now? When I mean where they are, I don't just mean location. I mean financially. Are they about to be listed in the stock market? Either in the US stock market or in the German stock market or in whichever stock market they are based in, or even if it's in Nigeria. Secondly, have they raised any fund of recently? $100 million, $10 million, $5,000, $100,000. Have they raised any of recently? Thirdly, who are the founders of this company and for how long have they been founded? Or when was this company founded? Majorly, you have to look at the company's product. What is this company selling? Is it a service product, service-based product, or is it a tangible product that is being needed in the market? So when you have this information, you arm yourself with a very strong questions that you can ask. And then you also check out who are their competitors. When you know their competitors, there is a way you speak to recruiters or hiring managers that gets them so excited because they understand that you know what they are up to and that you understand that this is the product of the company and you understand their financial status quo, this would help them even know that this candidate is very vested. And to be sincere with you, it doesn't take more than 30 minutes to find out about the company. Everything you need to know about them is on their website or on their LinkedIn page. On About Us, you see the products. Who we are, you see what they do. The products that they have, you see. So basically, you need to get to know about them and then come with strong questions for them. Then the next one is about your salary expectation. Oftentimes, people make mistakes of quoting salary just anyhow. When you ask people, you are applying for, let's say, a product associate or this junior product designer's role. Every information you need is on Dice, on Glassdoor, or on PayScale, right? All you need to do is ask yourself and be realistic with yourself. How many years of experience do you have? What tools have you used? Have you had the opportunity to lead anyone, or what tasks have you accomplished, or what results or KPIs have you been able to achieve from your last experience or from your previous experience? If the answer to these things are not all good, now you know where you stand, and then you know the kind of salary you should also say. Nothing is hidden. There is a salary for every market. You will be shocked that someone who is a senior product designer in Google based in Nigeria could be earning, let's say, 2 million naira or 2.5 million naira, or even say 3 million naira. The same position for someone who is based in the United States, the person is earning $10,000. This is the market. So you have to understand the markets, and then you know where you're bargaining from. And then you also have to understand your skills and the level at which you are at that moment, so that you do not say something that would aggravate the hiring manager, right? So that the hiring manager does not, just a moment, please. Okay. So that the hiring manager does not get angry and be like, in the first place, this person don't even know their worth, right? So it's either you are overestimating your worth or you are underestimating your worth. And if it's not clear to you, talk to a career coach, talk to someone in talent acquisition and say, hey, I'm applying for so and so position, and this is the experience I have, and this is the tools that I've used. Do you have an idea of how much I can bargain with just in case I get to the stage of salary expectation, right? So this is something that you have to really manage. Then when it comes to relocation, right? You cannot pay for your relocation. The company has to sponsor your relocation. Relocation is pretty much expensive, starting from the visa up until you land in the country of your destination. It can take you anywhere between 5 to 10,000 euros. And you cannot cough out between 5 to 10 million naira for you to just go and start something that you know that this is not, even though it's a job, but it's not guaranteed, because we have the 6 month probation, and you don't know how the CEO is making the next crazy decision that could get everyone laid off, right? So you don't get your money in things like that. So the company, all the relocation I've done, my company has paid for everything. The only thing we don't pay is paying for your rent once you arrive in Berlin, because we know that once you arrive, you secure your rent and the place you're staying, and at the end of the month you get your salary, and then you offset that. That's all, right? So up until now, do you have any question? Let me take a pause.
Yes.
Abby, go on.
Yeah. So about the salary expectation you mentioned, not quite long. Like I said, I've not done any PM interview ever since I transitioned, but I've done a couple of interviews when I was in customer services. And one thing that or how I respond most of the time for salary expectation, especially for companies that I do not have an idea how I can like the salary I can give to them, or I cannot find any information online. The response I give to them is I'd like them to pay me based on what's it called, the budgets allocated to that particular role. Do you think that's a good response? Because I don't want to take this mindset to product management when I land an interview finally. Thank you.
I think that's a very smart one. So let me also tell you that you have the right to ask a recruiter that you understand. That's another way to answer this question when they ask you what's your salary expectation. You would say you understand that this role has a budget, right? And you would like to understand what is the range of the budget. You're not asking for the specific budget. So if it's between 50 to 60K, 50 to 55, 65 to 70, the recruiter should be fair enough to tell you, because they're not telling you the actual budget. They're giving you a range where this budget can fall into, right? Now, based on your experience, and Abby, let me give you one professional advice. I know you have transitioned, you said you've transitioned from customer success to product management.
Yeah.
I want to also tell you that you should not forgo customer service, right? So have two CVs. This is my advice to you. Have two CVs. One for customer success, customer service, and one for product management. Apply differently for various roles in customer service and product management. Why should you do this? If you get into a company as a customer service, you can transition within that company into a product role. Now, if you're lucky enough to get your first experience and then you get in as a product intern, then you are lucky enough to grow from there. So what I would advise is have two CVs. In your LinkedIn, have that you are an associate product manager, a customer service personnel, and whatever skills like tools that you have used, right? Whatever tools that you have used in the past or currently using. This would help you score more interviews and would also help you get a job faster. This is my advice. Yeah?
Sorry for taking all time, please. That's a very good advice. I actually did it. I have different CVs, like two CVs, one for CS and one for PM. And most of the companies that I applied to, some of them respond back to me and they tell me that I was unserious. I laughed. I was unserious in the sense that you're applying for a CS role and you're currently a product manager. I don't know if you understand. What has been giving me up all this while is actually my LinkedIn page. When they are impressed with my CS CV, they go to my LinkedIn and see that, okay, this guy is actually a product manager. And it becomes a problem. So that's why I put my
I would show you how you can go about this. Sorry, I'm turning this into a session with you. So how you can go about this is in your product management skills and also in your CS skills, right? So what you have to do is you have to put your CS, right? You have to put your CS or your product first, and then you put your CS second in the slash form, because truth be told, one can be a product manager, one can be a front end or a full stack engineer, right? There are people like that, and one can be a cyber security analyst. There is no I would say limit to how far you can take your career or what you can learn, right? So you have to put it cut by cut, right? And then when you come to the experience part, now this is where it's very tricky. You put your CS experience first, right? And then secondly, if you have any I would say experience in product management, you put it second, right? This would give them any reasonable recruiter would know that, oh, this person has a CS product. And as it should be, the product should go first, right? Because why? You are applying for a product role now, and then you're also applying for a CS role. So both of those experience should be in your LinkedIn background or in your LinkedIn profile. So anybody coming in there would know that you have experience in CS, you have experience in product, or you have done some projects in product, right? So you don't need to worry so much, right? So this is how it should be.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I saw someone also raised their hand, but I don't know who raised their hand there.
I think you should just go ahead.
Okay, great. So, secondly, now I want to move to the next part, which is LinkedIn, right? Just like as I was talking to Abby, he was complaining about his LinkedIn. You see, having a skill is one thing, but also representing that skill on your online presence or visibility is another thing, right? So just a moment, please. Sorry. Sorry, I was hearing some noise in the background, so I had to make sure that the noise stopped. So, coming to your LinkedIn is a place where first thing first we go to. Even as soon as you apply, we don't even look at your CV that much. First thing first is that we go to your LinkedIn. We try to see your work experience, the places you've been, the company, what the company does, because we also stock candidates to also know what to ask them during the interview. So your LinkedIn plays a very vital role. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, or if you're not taking your LinkedIn serious, you should take your LinkedIn serious. You should start building connections. How do you build connections? If you are a product manager or you are an intending product manager already, if you have people like Banji in your network, and Banji has a lot of product managers, start connecting with those people Banji know. Start connecting with those people that Banji people know. They are your third connections. We have second connections, we have first connections, we have third connections. Build yourself around product managers, like make sure that you are growing in the network of product managers, and always from time to time, reach out to them for any opportunities that exist that you may not know, because a lot of the opportunities in most companies, you do not know they exist. So you necessarily do not even need to apply for some jobs, just referral would be enough. So basically, you have to build your LinkedIn and build your LinkedIn connections. Another thing I would also be rounding up with is in an interview, as a Nigerian, you have to come with so much confidence. Not confidence that portrays arrogance, but confidence that portrays that you are competent in this domain and that you are open to learning and growing. And then that you understand the role and you understand the company that you're coming into, right? So a lot of Nigerians in between, they suffer from low self-esteem during an interview. Very low self-esteem. And I understand this. So in a couple of interviews, I have had to, after the interview, ask the person to connect with me on LinkedIn. And then I have to now on LinkedIn talk to them and tell them that, see, I'm moving you to the next level, but listen, the people you would say are not me anymore. It's a hiring team, right? Those are the people that will make the decisions, either you are joining or not. But these are the things that I have noticed. The way you sounded, you are sounding so pitiful, like you are doing someone a favor of applying for a job. No. When you apply for a job and then you get an interview, it means that the person who has invited you for an interview has seen a potential here, because there is a potential that needs to be seen for you to be invited for an interview. You see? So this is basically how it is. So come with your confidence. Come like a consultant. Know that yes, you are a consultant and that nobody can take away your skills. It's in you, right? So when you come, hi, right? So you start a conversation by, hi, my name is Chinedu Nwokolo. Yeah, and this and this and this is my background, right? And it's a pleasure to meet you. And I would also like to get to know you as well, So don't come with like, hi, like, no, you are not suffering. You have a skill. You have something they want. They're very, very confident when you come for an interview, and come with a smile, and when there is an aura you would possess, like you would display, the recruiter would be like, there is something about this guy. When you come for an interview, it's just like, most times it's usually online. But if it was in person, when you meet the person who is interviewing you, first thing first, you shake hands firmly and you look eyeball to eyeball. Just like the way I've been looking into my camera. You look into the camera, never look away, never look up, never look down. Look into the camera and talk to the person. Right? So this is what I have to say about mistakes and things that Nigerians should do to better their chances in an interview, in a professional and international opportunity. Yeah. So I'm open to questions.
Right. And yes, I think it's pretty straightforward. And some of these things, Raji said that's one of the things we talked about in the first series of the session, and that's true. Have self-confidence, not arrogant type of confidence, but confidence in knowing that you know what you do. And yes, that's very important. Thank you so much, Chinedu. So
Thank
guys,
you.
if you have questions,
I think someone has questions here. A lot of
okay,
people have some questions to ask.
okay.
Yeah. Someone wanted to share their screen. Okay, but that was first. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Jide.
All right. Thank you very much. Good evening. So my question would be, there are myriads of international job platforms these days, and you don't want to get yourself seen by, applying to maybe like 20 different job platforms. So which in your experience would you think that one should just play around, maybe the top 5 and just continue knocking that door till it eventually opens up something very good. So for myself, I've had, well, not too many, but at least a handful of foreign interviews, and they will span for like 1 hour plus, very engaging, and then you'll not hear from them. It just tells me just keep on trying, but I don't know. I'm really tired. So maybe like just top five. Top five.
Don't be tired. Don't be tired. Don't be tired. Don't be tired. I will tell you something for free. You have to keep pushing until something happens, right? Because job application is a job on its own. Application for jobs is a full-time job on its own. And I wouldn't say that you should just limit yourself to 5 job platforms. No. If you have access to more job platforms, you have to push out as much. You're playing a game of numbers here. Now, let me tell you something. And I'm sharing it here for the very first time. I was laid off from Wevox because they gave us 3-month notice. I was laid off in May, in end of May. They gave me 3 months notice, right? Because that is the standard. If you have passed probation in Germany, you have to give the person 3 months, and you have to pay me for 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, you also have to pay me for severance package, which ranges between, depending on what you take as salary on a monthly basis, it can range between 15,000 to 200,000 euros. And they paid my severance, right? They paid my 3 months. But in this 3 months, I'm coming to my end already. I've come to my end already at Wevox, right? I'll be joining my next company 1st of December, right? And it took me 1 month. But if I tell you that the same thing I tell candidates is what I apply, game of numbers. On LinkedIn, I'm applying. On remote sites, I'm applying. On my own platform, I'm applying. On Indeed and a lot of platform, Monster, Stepstone, I'm applying. I'm training my CV here, there. I do nothing less than 50 applications on a daily basis. But one thing I don't do is that I don't put cover letter. It's another thing. Let me tell you, as a talent acquisition person, none of my TA partners ever read cover letter. We don't read it. We have a lot of application. We don't read cover letters. Imagine if we have maybe 3 PM roles, and in those 3 PM roles, we have over 500 applicants. 180 here, 200 here, 130 there. Do you want to read cover letters of all these people? Before you finish, you've ended 8 hours. How many days do you have? You have 8 hours. We have only 8 hours. And on an average, how many minutes do you think any recruiter out there reads your CV? We take just, I think, 30 seconds to read your CV. The rest thing, we will hear it from you if we like it, if we like your CV. No recruiter puts me anywhere. No recruiter takes more than 30 seconds to 1 minute if your CV is so good. Honestly. Anywhere you see where they ask cover letter, I'm giving you a free advice, put your CV there. If they ask for cover letter, put your CV there. Right? They will read your CV as cover letter. Right? I'm telling you for free. But if you want, you can write cover letter. If you feel, oh, I think it's because of this cover letter, but I'm telling you it's not because of the cover letter that you're getting rejections. Right? And let me tell you, sometimes recruiters are human beings. Is it not to use ATS, right? Don't forget, we don't use Excel. We're using ATS, applicant tracking system. Your applications coming, it's all coming to the ATS, the applicant tracking system. And once they arrive, what we do is, it's the click, is this, right? What we do is we just click reject. send, reject, send, reject. And reject and send means automatically send this person, and unfortunately we cannot go forward with you. We had 300 candidates in our this thing, and sorry, please check our website again, blah, 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 and those bullshit stories. If we like your CV, we say move to the next stage, which is the TA interview, which is the talent acquisition or recruiters or hiring manager interview. We don't read cover letters. And if anyone wants to tell you that they are diligent enough to read cover letter, they are lying to you. Nobody reads cover letter. From experience, nobody. Yeah? So do your CV, and in your CV, here are 3 things you should pay important aspects of. You see your experience, 1 or 2 or 3 experience, put it there. You see your skills. If you know all the tools you have used in this world, don't start saying excellent in communication, interpersonal, this, that. Those are soft skills, yes. You see, these skills, if you've used Java 1.0 or 7.8, put it there. If you've used Trello, put it there. If you've used Asana, put it there. If you use Jira, put it there. If you know which of the ticketing system you've used, put it there. If you use Figma, put it there. If you know, understand Lean 6, put it there. If you know SAP, put it there. Don't put interpersonal skill, able to work under pressure. Don't put those things. Then, now, you see, those parts where, these 2 parts is where we look at. Your work experience and your skills. This is what makes, we don't know whether you did NYSC, we don't know whether you did masters. You can just put your masters. You don't have to put all your school that you went to do 3 masters or 4 masters. We are not interested. What we're interested in is someone that will come and do this job and do it well. We don't want to know what you can do with 3 masters or 1 PhD in addition to it. Just tell us what is your latest qualification. If it's PhD, put it there. PhD in psychology, 2001 to 2010. Bam, that's all. These are the things that we put our eyes on, right? And that's why we read your CV in 30 seconds. Where do we hit? We hit your CV, work experience. Oh, what has he done? Ah, okay, he has done this. And don't forget, we are working with hiring managers, right? Hiring managers tell us, I need someone who has worked with Trello. I need someone who has worked with Java 3.8 or Java 7.5. Or I need someone who has worked with Kubernetes. I will need someone who has worked with technical writing, this and that. Once we see those things in your CV, in your experience, we are calling you for the next stage because we want you to come and explain to us. You said you did this, you said you did that. Alpha, can you explain? Right? And then you are explaining, oh, wow, this guy really knows what he's doing. Hiring manager needs to talk to this one because this is what they are looking for. So when people start putting, for me, Jawayek, now put NYSC, now put BSc, now put masters, now put the top masters and second master, I don't know what you want me to do with those kind of informations because we didn't advertise a professor position or a junior lecturer position. We advertised that we need a product manager. We advertise that we need a technical product manager, right? So focus on those things that we said we want. Don't tell us any other thing or don't give us any. Doing recruitment is already tough. You don't have to make it more tougher for us by straining our eyes to read all these things that you put inside your CV, right? So this is just an eye-opener. And when Fox laid me off, right, I smiled. I said, no, Allah. I'm back to the market, but on a low key. And I did not go to my LinkedIn and put open to work. Don't ever use that thing that LinkedIn used to put open to work. Don't put it. You see, in recruitment, we believe that we have 2 candidates, 2 good candidates. No, one good candidate actually. We have two candidates in the market, active and passive. Active are those that are actively searching, and we know that they can do anything or say anything just to get into the job. But you see passive candidates, those ones that are not even putting that thing in their platform. Those are the ones we are looking at. I'm not saying that open to work is bad, but it's not good for your profile. It could, another person could have a different opinion about it and say, but then how will people know that you are looking for a job? People don't need to know that you are looking for a job. Apply for jobs. The jobs that you want, apply for it. Right? So I don't even it's just like you are hungry, right? Instead of you to go and work, now you carry signboard on your head and you say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. People can give you food, but you can decide to go and work for the food. Right? So this is one thing I don't like about that open to work. It's just my own personal opinion. But professionally, it's not good. Right? So you can either take it or leave it, sir. But I'm just sharing with you like some of my success factors, right? When I was laid off, I did not put open to work there. I just started reaching out to personal connections. Hi, I'm currently looking for my next role. Is there something in your company? Hi, I'm just keep looking, keep finding, keep applying. Somebody will say something, somebody will reach out to you. A former colleague of mine that left our company and joined Amazon, and then Amazon laid him off, and then he later was lucky enough to get another job, called me yesterday and asked me, because they laid a lot of us off, not just me, in our team. They laid more than 80% of our team off. And as of 3 days ago, I also got the information that they've now laid off the entire team. And you know, whenever a company starts having issues, the first people that they lay off is the HR people. They first send us out because no recruitment. Recruitment is not going on. Recruitment is not going on, right? So therefore, what are we doing there? Receiving salary for nothing. We are gone. I will go to find our next job, right? So this is why I say I was applying seriously. There is no day that I don't apply for at least 30 to 50 jobs. You know, I applied to an extent that all the jobs got exhausted. Like I exhausted. Then a few people were now telling me, why don't you switch to product management? Why don't you switch to product management, right? And for me, I thought about it to do product management, but for me, I don't think it's something that I would like to venture into immediately, even though I have interest to do that, right? I just told myself, it's going to be tough to get my first role, even though I know it has high possibility, right? Because the market is going to correct again, latest by first or second quarter of next year. But then I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that delay. I want to stick to where I know that this is my core profession. So I kept on applying while also having the open opportunity. I told myself that if by December I don't have something on my table, I don't have an offer and a contract signed on my table, then I have to then go into product management, right? So this for me is something that I thought about, engaged myself properly, and then I got my next contract, right? So I'm sharing this with us because even on LinkedIn, you would never, if I'm sharing my success in December, for like I'm starting a new role, you would never see me saying that. After laid off, never, not me. What you just see me write is that I've transitioned. I was not laid off. And let me tell you, not everything you see on LinkedIn is true. People lie, but they lie professionally and they back it up with experience. Right? So basically, just a moment, just a moment. So basically, like I was saying, people lie, but they lie professionally, right? And if you don't do it that way, you would be playing against yourself. Because I have friends that they never had any experience in data analysis, in product management. They just did maybe a 6-month course. And then they came back and spoke with one manager in First Bank, spoke with another manager in GTB, and then copied experience. And copied experience, right? Copied experience from wherever they copied experience from, right? And then what they did is they put that experience, I have this experience here, I have this experience here, and I have this experience here. So basically, if you bump into their thing, you won't know that those things that you are asking, they've really gone deep. Like if you spend time with Banji enough, you would become a product manager by any like good standard, because I've seen Femi, I've seen Banji, I've seen what they are up to, and I know that these ones, anywhere you call them, they can answer, right? So let me not lie to you, I never had the experience of human resources in Nigeria. Before I left for Germany, I was just a normal business guy dealing with laptops from Nigeria to Ghana to Ivory Coast to the west of Africa, right? I was selling these things. But when it got to that stage where I have to cook experience, and I've done my master's in international human resources management, I had to go back, cook experience, and got my first job. You can cook your experience, but make sure that as you cook that experience, you have something here that you can defend it. I'm giving you like just as it is, as a Nigerian to a Nigerian, right? I won't say this thing to a white person. They will say, that means we have to start looking at these Nigerian people, right? Because they will say, these people, that means this experience is not real. But how many experiences is real? I have plenty. I can't count how many of my friends got in as cybersecurity, as data analysts, BI developers, product managers, software developers. They just did a course, a 6-month course. And see, the truth is, let me tell you, Abby, nobody will want to give you a chance if you keep putting intern. I would advise you remove that intern, put product associate, cook experience.
God bless you.
You understand? So this is what I'm going to tell you. Nobody wants to give anyone a chance. Like when you say when you see a baby as this one, we'll now start baby feeding this one now. Who has time to start onboarding this one? I will now start answering what is Jira, what is Confluence, what is that, what is Trello? How can I use this? Nobody wants to baby feed anybody. Everybody wants someone who can feed themselves. So come like, I don't trouble full. I can do this. If they say, do you know this? Yes, I know it. Even if you don't know it, I know it. Say you know it. Right? But come prepared for that interview. If there is anything, I will tell you, if there's anything you need as a product manager, go and ask Banji that what are all the tools a product manager can ever think of in this world? Update yourself with all the tools. Update yourself with tax. Then if you want experience, if you want storyline, I can help you cook storyline. Banji can also help you with experience. Right? it's all about being smart here. You know, being smart to get to your goals, because you can say the truth, for all you want, and these things keep happening the way they're happening. But you can decide that professionally you want to cook this, and then you work hard. Like if they wake you up now as a product manager, put you in a team, you can function like you have worked in that team. It's not because you are functioning like you've worked in that team. You already know these things by proxy. You just need the opportunity to excel. That's all. You're looking for an opportunity to implement what you know. So by proxy, you know it. It's not like you are lying, but you have to cook something. Right? So this is where I will leave it for this night, because I'm already talking too much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys cook with sense, so it's important. But yes, thank you so much, Chinedu. Do we have questions? We have questions. Time. We are far, beyond time. And I have an announcement to make, guys. We have a review that we would like to. I'm getting a feedback. Is that from Abby? Okay, yes, Abby. Thank you for muting. Yeah. So, I have and a sweet news to share. How do we do this now? Okay, let's just take one question, and that's the question from Talent Match Project. So after Talent Match Project, guys, you can go to Chinedu's LinkedIn to ask him any question. And you can also drop questions on the community. And the few things that no, I don't think it's few. I think we have learned so much here this evening. So the things that we have learned that is particular to us, I think we should go ahead to our social media to share, share it. Tag Enoverlab, tag Chinedu. Chinedu is Chinedu Nwokolo on LinkedIn. Enoverlab is Enoverlab on LinkedIn. On Instagram, Enoverlab is Enoverlab NG, and on Twitter, it is Enoverlab. So, guys, let's go ahead to do that. And yes, let's take the last question before the big review, guys. It will blow your mind, I promise you. But yes, let's take the question. Chinedu's full name on LinkedIn is Chinedu Nwokolo. I am going to type it in the comments in the chat box shortly. And yeah, talent match. Please go ahead with your question, and please be brief so that we can, finish up by 8:30 max.
Okay, thanks, Blessing, for giving me the opportunity to ask this question again. Um, uh, Chinedu, thanks again for your presentation. It's been quite insightful. What I wanted to know is if there is a strategy to applying for jobs, because you just said now that you apply for minimum of 50 jobs in a day. So how do you analyze each company's um, each company's profile, their their founders, their finances, and everything, and then be able to structure your CV before you make that application, and then do that same thing across 50 companies? It's a bit tedious. So I'm wondering if there's a strategy to it, or if there's a style to it to make this faster. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, can you ask me your question? Can you ask me your question again, because my network went off, sir?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So I said, is there a strategy to applying to jobs? Because you said, and I'm not. This is not the first time I'm hearing this, that you apply to between an average of 30 to 50 jobs in a day. So how do you take time to analyze a company's website, their founders, their finances, and everything before you now start structuring that job description to your CV and then make that application, and then also do that across 50 different companies? How do you do that?
Thank you. So you don't modify all your CVs to look differently for different jobs and start adapting the CVs for different jobs and all of that. No, you don't do that. What you do is have a standard CV that if you are applying for 50 jobs as a product manager, like a product manager role, you don't need to tweak your CV. I often used to hear people telling people, twist your CV to suit the job description is a lie. The job of a product manager is always the job of a product manager. What could be different could be maybe the tools that different companies use. Some companies use Asana, some companies use Trello, some companies use Jira, some companies use Confluence, some companies use different tools. Take Banji's CV and put on 1,000 product management role. I'm telling you, it's going to be a 95% match for all of those 100 jobs. Banji don't need to twist his CV for all of those jobs. I used to hear people saying that, giving people as an advice, and I'm telling you that it's a wrong advice. Once your CV, you know your CV is correct, like it meets the best practices standard, you don't need to twist anything. And where people now have problem now is cover letter. People believe that this cover letter does something, and I'm telling you now that it doesn't do nothing. Ask any HR person to be sincere with you. Do they read cover letter? They don't. So, like I said, your CV and how you also arrange your LinkedIn. And you know, as a product manager, when I was interviewing them so much, right? There used to be this, there used to be this portfolio link. Every product manager, whether junior, intern, senior, whatever level, they all have product portfolio apart from their CV. Now, your product portfolio has a combination of all the products you've worked with, or you've worked for, or you've developed, or you've worked for, you know, and their futures. So as a product manager, your CV is not just about job description. You can take on Enoverlab project and say, hey, I worked on this open source project, and this and this and this is what this project was all about, or this product was all about. You go to the next one, you put the product, you put what it's all about. You see, the people who their CV are very unique. You see product managers, you see product designers, you see software developers, front end, back end, DevOps. These people, they are this thing, is either on GitHub, or they have a portfolio, or they have something somewhere that you can look. But in short, we don't even gauge product managers by just their LinkedIn. We have a product portfolio. Our CPO, Sam Love, the chief product manager, I used to work with them. He's like, for every product managers we're interviewing, whether senior, junior, mid-level, we need to see a product portfolio, which means we need to see a portfolio of products you've worked with. So you don't need to twerk it, like I said, to apply for 100 jobs. So get your CV right and apply strategically to those 100 jobs or 200 jobs. Now, you don't even need to know anything about the company. It is only, is it not when somebody have interest in you that you start having interest in the person? So you don't need to know anything, just they apply. Just be applying, be training application. Don't, it's just like someone who is playing bet Niger, play 100 naira, carry 1x over 1.5, over 2.5, under 1.5. It just they carry everything. Why? Because you know, say one go enter, that one will go enter, you go look the ticket, say, okay, now this ticket enter. This is how it works. So it's a game of numbers that when the company calls you, we like your CV, we like your profile, we like your portfolio. How about we have our first interaction? Oh, someone is interested in me. Let me see who this person is. Okay, this is what this person has done in the past 10 years. This is what this company has been up to. This is where they are right now. This is how many staffs they have available right now. This is that, this is that. You find out all the things and have your questions ready, right? So even the culture of the company, their core values, all of those things, right? So does this answer your question about applying strategically?
Oh, yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and if it doesn't, just let me know that it doesn't, that you still need more explanation and I will explain. Yeah, please.
All right. Thank you so much for that one, Chinedu. And
Yeah.
yes, we have come to the end of product session today. But before we end product session today, guys, I have, like I said in the community, I have one sweet news to share with everybody, right? And it would just be nice to, it is an opportunity. Ah, why can't I share my screen? What's going on? Yay! Interesting. I want to share my screen now. Okay. Ah.
Blessing, share this thing now.
Ah.
No give us
these
hypertension.
people, these people are going to eat me raw today. I'm not sure why I cannot share my screen.
They hot.
Ah, what's going on? Okay. Ah, I have to share my screen. Oh, I really have to share my screen. Okay, let me see how I'm going to do that. Give me a second. Oh. Ah, listen, say I can't share my screen.
You must share it too.
I must share it. Me too, I must share it though. Like
Yeah.
nothing must stop me. All right. Let me see. Okay, let me just. Okay. Ah, he's telling me to share just my tab. I can't share my tab, just my tab. I have to share my screen. Ha. They are following our big review today. Incredible. Okay, so I will not be able to share my screen, but I really do wish that I can share my screen. Right. So the interesting news is Enoverlab is oh, okay. So the interesting
Maybe you want to log out and come back in. I'm sure you'll be able to share
That would be
You want me
awesome.
you want me to log out and come back in?
Yes,
That's
yes.
interesting. That's interesting. I really do wish I can share my screen because it will just be sweeter if I share my screen and it will not be long story. And I want to share some links and everything.
Blessing, exit the call and come in. Now, all this explain, you go explain that no evidence. So,
Sorry, you guys are going to wait for me, right? So just give me like
We will wait, don't worry.
wait.
all right, a minute.
Yeah.
Just leave the call. Okay, let me make somebody host first. Sarah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Blessing. Me, I was thinking you
Sarah.
should read so that Sylvia can ask her question. Why
Okay,
you?
yes, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. So I'll make you host. Silva can go ahead to ask a question. Abby, I'm also going to make you host as well, so that it will be seamless a bit for everyone, right?
Okay,
so you
guys.
can accept people in and all of that. So I made both of you host. So I'm just going to go now. Silva, Abby Sylvie, you can just unmute and ask your question while I'm away, right? And Chinedu will be willing to answer the question. So I'm off, guys. I'll be back shortly.
All right.
All right.
Hi, Sylvie. Are you there? Hi, Chinedu. Can you hear us?
Hi, thank you
Okay.
for all the information you've given us through this session. So I would like to ask a question concerning adding like side projects, open source projects to the CV. This seems like something that would CV exceed one page, and most times is advised for one CV not to exceed one page. So how do hiring managers view CV that exceeds one page? Is it based on experience? Like if you have more than 5 experience, would they look at it? Or if you have less than 2 years experience, would they just skip it if it's more than one page?
So basically, I would say like I said, your CV doesn't necessarily need to exceed one page, but if it does, it should not be more than 2 pages. And what should be in those 2 pages is just experience that matches what you are applying for. Because there is something I would also tell you. I know some people had experience in, let's say, as a bank teller, or had experience as a receptionist or someone in one corporate field or the other. Now, if that experience does not help you say anything about product management, you don't even need to talk about, those experiences in your CV, because first of all, they are irrelevant. Secondly, they won't help you land the job. It's just like Abby said, using CS and trying to apply for product management, or using CS or product to apply for CS. It won't work. So you have to put what is in the C, like what they want to see, everything about product, all those projects that you have done concerning a particular product or various products, put it there, even if it is 3 pages. It will give them joy going through those projects and those products that you have worked with, like going through them, knowing that, wow, this project, wow, this is what this product is all about. This is what this project was all about. This is what this project was all about. This was what I did, and this was what this project was able to achieve, blah, blah, blah. In that way, you will be able to defend yourself of those 3 sheets of CVs that you did, those 3 pages. It's something that you cannot you can't take away. Once it's 3 pages, 2 page, it doesn't matter, right? Because what matters more is the content of what is inside that CV. If what you put there is your experience from NYSC, I see people putting experience from NYSC, putting experience after NYSC, putting experience that I don't understand if it matches what the role they're applying for. If your experience does not match the role you're applying for, my friend, take it away. That's all. So normally, if you check truly your experience, you know that your experience should not pass 2 pages. And those 2 pages should be filled with just your school. And your school, you just have to mention just one. If BSc is your highest, you don't need to mention WAEC. You don't need to mention any other thing, because they know that you cannot get the BSc without the WAEC. So mentioning the WAEC is taking space. If your master's is the highest, and come again, let me just show you something. If also your BSc, right? You did product management in your BSc, and then you did something different in your master's, take the BSc and put them, because that is what is relevant to what you're applying for. If it is your master that you did product management, take the masters, put them. Whatever is relevant for the role you're applying for is what should appear in that CV. If it is not relevant, don't put it there. That's all. In that way, you will not exceed 2 pages, or maximum even 1. Israel.
Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, for someone that studied microbiology, like from what you just said now, does that mean when you studied microbiology in Nigeria now, most people don't even work with the course they studied from school, and maybe the first job you got was maybe a customer care job, then you want to transition into a product management. So would your BSc or whatever you have in school, even if it's agric, you can still put it on your CV? That's what I want to ask.
Yes, you can put it, like, just put your highest degree there. You understand? Even if it is not relevant for the job, you can put it there. But like, what you should strive to have on your CV should not be that even your first experience, but you can just put your BSc so that they know that yes, this person is a learned person, right? But also, what you have to also have in mind is that your CV should just have that project. That is why it's very good to collaborate on a lot of projects as you learn in product management. So you guys can always come together and say, you know what, let's launch this project as people who are learning together. in Enoverlab, right? You launch a project, you guys put in 100% effort. Everybody takes that thing that they've done, both collaboratively and individually, and put in their CV.
Okay.
You do another project, you take it again and put it there, right? This would form your CV for you. And in that way, you now have experience that matters to the CV that you, or the things that you're applying for, the product management role that you're applying for, right? And I'm even going to also, yeah, fire, okay. You can go ahead. Wait, I think, sorry.
I thought you were still answering Israel's question.
Yes. Hold on. This guy was next. I think Williams Ofama was next, but I will still come back to you. Like what I was saying is those experience that you have, right, from Enoverlab translates a lot. And to be sincere, you guys are even in much better position when you go out there and say, hey, I did this, not just for Enoverlab. I did this for XYZ companies. I did this for this company. I did that for this company. Nobody wants to know if you actually worked in those companies. What they want to know is what you actually did in that company, right? So basically, those experience you get from Enoverlab, you put those experience, and then beneath, you can add some other details from XYZ company. In that way, your CV will carry more weight as an associate product manager. That answers for Israel. Israel, is that okay for you?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so don't hesitate to add your BSc, whether it is in agriculture or in any field. It's your highest degree, and you just have to put it there, right? But what you should put more effort is in the tools that you have learned. I think you should spend time learning more tools and gathering experience than putting in irrelevant things in your CV, right? So, yeah, Williams, before I go to Fire, okay?
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Williams.
Okay, your thoughts are really taking note of what you have said. Please, concerning international rules, apply international rules. I think we have to change our location. That's my first question. We have to change our location. Like, you want to apply for Germany, UK, or US. Do we have to like change our location to where we are? And the last thing, like me, someone like me that did engineering. How do I translate engineering knowledge, like civil engineering, to my experience? I've been working prior in project management here, work project manager. How do I translate the role to a product manager role? And that's my question.
So it depends on your experience. Like I see, you said you have civil engineering experience, and you want to know how to transition from civil engineering to product management role. So first thing first is that we need to understand why you want to transition from civil engineering to product management. And just like everything in product management is all around projects, civil engineering, it's also all about projects, timelines, budgets, right? From the concept of the building to the finishing of the building to the interiors. So it has similarities, but then you would have to then consult with Banji because he's now the pro in this domain, right? So first thing I expect from Banji is to understand why you want to come into product management, and if you have the zeal to learn, because he has to show you the roadmap, right? To what you have to learn, and if you have the zeal to learn it. So once the zeal is there and you want to learn it, then I think we start the journey of your transitioning. Yes, go ahead.
I finished my product management training in Enoverlab actually. I'm
You
just saying how
finished, okay.
that's why translate engineering to a product management, because I put two experience there. I put one for Enoverlab on my capstone project. Then the second one was on my civil engineering experience, the project manager. That's the two experience I put on.
Okay, so what you're asking me now is if the two experience you put there, if they are okay. Do I get you correct?
Yes, that's the question. You said
Okay.
like what you said I should translate it more to a product manager, the civil engineering role that should connect it to a product manager if I'm applying for it to be relevant for the role I'm applying for.
Okay. I think you have to tweak it a little bit, right?
Okay.
So though is a civil engineering product, right? Is a civil engineering same product. It's a civil engineering role that you did there, but also you have to tweak the title. You don't have to put civil engineer. You can put associate product manager there, and then tweak those things because we have product managers for civil engineering companies.
That's true. That's true.
Right. So if you look at what can a product manager in a civil engineering company do, you would then be able to have that let's say the experience you want to really put in there, so that your transitioning would look seamless and effortless, and then it will look like it's on track.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Last
Yes.
question. Back to applying for international. Do we leave our location like applying for international roles?
You leave your location. There's nothing. You leave your location. There is nothing wrong with your location. So if you apply for international roles, always watch out for one, remote, on-site, hybrid. Companies that offer on-site, you don't need to apply. Because why?
Okay.
Except you are a really strong pro. You understand? A really strong pro, then the company can then spend money to bring you, even as a junior product manager. But what Enoverlab is doing is preparing you for the future. Should you leave Nigeria today, you cannot go and start from the bottom. You will start from a professional level. Either as an intern while you're doing your master's, or you start as a junior product manager in a company. You understand? So this is basically the whole goal of training people, even though they are not yet qualified, but then you keep them qualified for the future. You still have a question? I see your hand still raised.
No.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for that
All
one.
right.
We have Simon. We will not be taking other questions so that we can just share the big review.
I would like to, Blessing, just a moment. I would like to answer Fayuke.
Sorry?
I would like to answer Fayuke, and if you can mute Williams.
Yes, we would answer Fayuke, but she'll be the last person we will be answering.
Okay, then also mute Williams. Williams, mute.
Yeah. All right, Fayuke, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so my concern or my question right now is on some job descriptions, you see recruiters or the companies asking for say 2 years experience, 3 years experience. So from the hiring manager point of view, how do they determine the years of experience you have? Because if you're saying that if you're applying for a product manager role, and your past work experience is not in relation to product manager, there's no point putting that on your CV. So how then do you show that you have 2 years work experience or 3 years work experience if all you have to put on your CV is projects you've worked on? Maybe you just finished your training with Enoverlab like 3-4 months ago, and you worked on a couple of projects, and that's all you just have to put on your CV. So I'm trying to understand, how then do you show that you have the required years of experience that the company is looking for.
Very good. If you recall what I said, like, let me ask you, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel when it comes to product management?
I'll say 8.
If you say 8, that means you're a very good product manager. So therefore, you need to cook experience. This is where smartness comes in. So what you have to do is you bring down an Enoverlab to maybe a year or 2 years ago. You bring in another company that you've done associate product manager role, and then you bring the next company that you're doing product manager with. In this way, if you feel confident, 8/10, and I'm telling you this thing based, and I've given people this advice, and it has worked perfectly. Nobody wants to know. What we know is we want to hire someone who has confidence, who can do this job, who has used these tools. If you say 8/10, that means what you need right now is just an opportunity to showcase what you know. And once you showcase what you know, I'm telling you, nobody will argue with you if what you are doing is right. Nobody wants to know if your 3 years of experience is valid or invalid. Right? So this is how it works. You cook experience. Because where does a hiring manager expect you to go and get that 3 years of experience? And then we don't expect you to put irrelevant things in your CV. So where do you get the experience from? You cook it. Is it clear to you?
I guess
Someone
this is
is
clear.
I'm teaching people to lie, but this is how it works in the market. Talent match, you said what?
Yeah, I think that's
Sorry, I said just to buttress.
Yes, it's very clear to me. Thank you. Thank you, Chinedu.
Just to buttress your point.
Yeah.
When I started my IT career as a Microsoft SQL Server database administrator, I didn't go for any course. I just read for 3 months, and I cooked my CV as a DBA. After searching for work for about 3 to 6 months, I got a role. So that's the way it is.
Okay, thank you for that one. Talent manager, I guess. Talent match, sorry.
My name is Kunle, by the way.
All right, Kunle, it's great to know your name. I mean,
nice to know you, Kunle, as well. I've been calling you Talent Match. Sorry.
I've been calling him Talent.
Thank you.
But yes, thank you so much, Chinedu, for this awesome session. And yes, it's been a swell time. It's about 2 hours, and it is interesting to see. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, so Blessing, we can see your screen finally.
Okay, so basically, Enoverlab, as we have teamed up with Inspire Africa Conference for a mind-blowing opportunity, right? And this one is interesting, like, it's exciting to me, right? And
we can't see it again, no. We can't see your screen again.
We can't see your screen.
Abby, please be on standby. I'm not sure why you guys can't see my screen again. But yes, Abby, please share your screen. I was thinking it's fine now, but
all right, I'll do that now.
Okay, so Enoverlab has partnered with Inspire Africa to So Enoverlab has partnered with Inspire Africa to for an interesting opportunity, and if you're attending this event, you are, entitled to a VIP treatment with exclusive scholarship before the world catches on, of course. And yes, it is interesting to, to share this because it is an exciting opportunity for the community to be able to meet world product leaders. right? And yes, they are offering us a whooping tickets for 100 people, right? And yes, they are what's it called now? They're giving us 100 tickets for people in our community. So if you want to attend the conference, I mean, that's for the first day anyway. And yes, it is a physical event. It's a physical event, and yes, 100 free tickets is up for grabs for the day one of the event. And after that day, I think they are offering us a 50% off the 3 other days. So you guys get to, have your minds expanded by the cream de la creme of product leaders. And yes, and yeah, I was told that product leaders from Paystack, Wakana, Pegatech, InterSwitch, OmniBiz Africa, amongst others, are going to be in this interesting conference. And Matty Kagan as well. I'm sure almost everyone knows Matty Kagan. Matty Kagan is the founder of Silicon Valley Product Group, and yes, she's also going to be gracing the occasion with presence, of course, and other key speakers, key product leaders. Actually, I think some of them are even in our community as well, and yeah, it is going to be mind blowing. So, guys, there are 100 tickets up for grabs. If you want to attend, yes, it is in Eco Hotels and Suites in VI, right? I'm going to be sharing a link like now. I'll be sharing a link now. So, the first 100 people to, sorry, the first 100 people to grab the opportunity would get the free ticket, of course, right? So it is pretty straightforward. Oh, where is it? 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 Okay, it's in my email. So yes, it is pretty straightforward. And yeah, let me send it here. Okay. All right, thank you, Abby. I am just going to share the link shortly as well. So,
Are you sharing it here? Or
yes,
on the
I'm
group?
sharing it here. So just going to be a game of who fastest finger, right? So yeah, give me.
But blessing, this thing is not fair. How about people who are not in Lagos now?
Hey,
In
sorry.
Nigeria,
But
this is
yes,
not
if you're
fair.
not in Lagos, I don't know how they would do that, but I feel like I don't know. I think I don't think it's open to. I don't think it's virtual. It's just for people in Lagos, and I'm glad that they are bringing that stuff to Lagos. It is mind blowing for me, and I'm even glad that it's going to help members of our community to be able to meet world product leaders. I mean, why not, right? So yeah, see, I don't register for tickets. Who give you tickets? This person, you get them out. Oh. All right, this is the link, and is it clickable? Is the
No.
link clickable? Okay, let me.
No, it's not. I think you omitted the H. It's not clickable.
I think so too. So I'm just going to do that. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, yeah. I omitted the H. Thank you for that one. So guys, let's go ahead to register. Okay, it's clickable now. Yes, let's go ahead to register, and we will see you in VI. The program is on 18th to 21st of September, and yes, amazing people would be gracing the occasion. I'm excited because why not? And it is a very big opportunity for everyone in our community, right, to be able to attend um, a conference of product people in Africa, not Lagos, not Nigeria, not regional Africa. That's that's an interesting one for us, and we're excited to share with everyone. So go ahead to register for this event. On this note, I hope Chinedu is still on the call. Chinedu, sorry we had to, um, you know, eat into your time a little bit. But yes, thank you so much for this amazing session. It's been quite, eye-opening, information packed, super packed, right? And yes, we are super excited to have you come speak with us, because why not? I mean, there are some things that you have mentioned here today that some of us do not even know, and I'm not sure that anyone would be able to really, tell us the secrets behind the mistakes that we make whenever we are trying to get international jobs. And we've been on this series for about 3 weeks now. Yes, this week makes it the third week, and it's been a mind-blowing session. I'm really pained that last week's session, Google is really messing with us. They've not released that session, because that session, just the way today's session is, last week's session was, nobody minced words. I'm so happy that you did not mince words for us. You told us just the way it is, how to go about all of these things from a recruiter standpoint. So
Yeah.
everything is valid, and we are so grateful for this. And it gladdens my heart to have a conversation with you. And I'm sure that everyone is also happy to have a conversation with you as well. And thank you for all of the questions. I mean, if you leave my community people, they will keep asking questions till I see them come. Because why not? Right. But yes, thank you so much for preferring answers and solutions to all of the questions that have been asked today. And we are really grateful for your time, your presence. I mean, I think Banji told you that this session is going to be an hour, but look at how it has extended into 2 hours. And, it's just interesting. And everyone is able to connect. And I think that's one thing about us here at Enoverlab. One of our core values is connection. And yes, the connection is there in this conversation this evening. And we're super grateful to have you come speak with us. Thank you so much. And I bring greetings from the entire team. Everyone is just saying, Chinedu they speak, Chinedu they tell us the way the team
Yeah.
is
They-
have you give us these secrets, and I'm sure that everyone is going to apply. Somebody said, make I go promote my open to work with their LinkedIn. And I'm like, why not? Right? So yes, thank you so very much. We really do appreciate you. And yes, guys, we've come to the end of the session, and I know that you guys are going to ask, oh, Blessing, where's the recording for this session? Well, the recording is going to be up on YouTube, but I cannot guarantee last week's recording. And I'm really so pained that last week's recording is just somehow. I'm not happy about it. Something happened along the line, and Google just restricted. We're able to recover some videos, but that particular video does not release it for us. We're still writing to them, and we hope that they will be
Let's
able to
listen.
Yes, please.
Why don't you guys use Zoho, because at Elite Digest, I don't know, maybe Banji has not mentioned it to you guys, but we have
Okay.
something cooking. Yeah, if you guys can use Zoho, because I use Zoho to coordinate
Calls,
our
meetings,
yeah
right?
everything. Zoho has Click, just like Slack, just like Google Meet.
Yeah.
It has everything that you want, all the CRMs you need, and it's not so expensive. So you can buy a license for the Enoverlab team, or Banji can do that. And once you record, you don't need anyone to release it to you. It's there.
Yeah. Explore that. Thank you very much for that as well. We will explore that definitely. We have also been looking for ways to have our videos not being we don't always have that issues, just sometimes once in a while, and it's pretty annoying sometimes. Especially that video. I'm not just happy that that video is stuck with them. Right, because it's a very valuable one, and I would love that we have that video on our YouTube channel. But this video, definitely nothing will happen to it, and we're going to have it up on our YouTube channel, and the link is going to be shared with everyone in the community. So guys, thank you very much for this amazing session. I'll see you on the other side of Enoverlab. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye guys. Thank you, Chinedu. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Let me end this recording so that you'll send my stuff.